Hi. So this setup's a little bit funky because Lego Star Wars doesn't have doesn't have a native hi. Lego Star Wars doesn't have a native windowed mode because it's that old of a game. So my setup is a little bit wonky, but we're going for it anyway because I've been sad and I want to not be sad. So we're gonna play some Lego Star Wars, and hopefully we'll capture my mouth moving and stuff like that. Oh no, it's frozen. Let me in. Very much, yeah, exactly. But we don't want to be sad. It's the beginning of the school year is always a rough time, because I get mad. I get mad anxiety starting new things. Unlike this new game that we're gonna start. I don't know how much I remember the controls, but it's a Friday for me, and I want us to not be sad right now. So we're gonna have fun, and I'm gonna play. What the heck? Let me switch. I want to be Obi-Wan. Like, I respect Qui-Gon, but I want to be Obi-Wan. That's lame. I don't remember any of the controls. Are they just not going to tell me? That's fantastic. We love you, Lego Star Wars. Control setup. Got WASD. Special is J. Character toggle. Space? Nope. Hello, let me in. Lego Star Wars is a special game. Said left control. Won't let me in. We love. Hey, what's up? I don't understand. Move left, move right, move up, move down. Tag. No, there's not much of an issue. It's just the camera is always a little... I'm using PRPR Live. No, there's no issue with it. It's just... It's difficult setting up both, this screen and PRPR Live was probably the issue. But it's fine, because I want to play Lego Star Wars. On tag, special is J. U is jump. H is action. Left control says I should be able to toggle. Did I accidentally put in a player 2? I don't think I did. It's fine. Okay. We're getting back into it. I'll figure out how to switch them, I'm sure. I don't know what the purpose of the cups might be. Let me switch, let me switch, let me switch. Let me be Obi-Wan. We're gonna move along to the entrance and see how well we do. Now, Lego Star Wars is like a little old, so I can't do what I'd usually do for a game, which is just put it in window mode and then play it that way, or window it enough to set it up. I have to like capture the full screen, and because of that I think it's making my PRPR Live a little wonky. We're gonna do negotiation. Let me in. I think it thinks it's 2 players. I very well might have done that. Do you guys want the story? We'll do it. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Chapter 1, Negotiations. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic with a blockade of deadly battleships, the Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. The Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched Jedi Knights Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi to settle the conflict. ... I love that my avatar isn't moving that much. I do apologize. I'm a pro streamer, you guys. I don't remember what this thing is called. I remember, for as much as I will like defend the prequels, The Phantom Menace is not one that I frequently rewatch. So there's a lot of blocks in my memory over The Phantom Menace. Fine, I have no idea how VTuber avatars work, so I don't know how to... No, you're fine. PRPR Live is funky. We love to see it. This is such like a comfort. I remember the first time when I played this game, walk up to a friendly character and press K. Okay. K. K, 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 K. K. Ba, 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 ba. I don't know how I could make this any more obvious than I'm pressing K. It's fine. We'll just abandon ship. I played this obsessively for like 2 seconds. Again, you might have done multiplayer by accident. I don't know how to make it not, is the issue. I don't know how to not be a multiplayer anymore. Hold on. Options. Is the music too loud, by the way? Like the in-game audio? I mean, by the fact that your partner there isn't moving. I know, I have no idea. Gotta get him. Can't really hear the game. It's like super loud on my end. I also want to get out of this as soon as possible because the flashing lights do not seem to be like the greatest thing for photosensitive people. Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn off my background music. Thanks for pointing that out. Let me turn that off so that it's not just that. Yeah, I don't know why my thing is locked. Let me see while I'm out if I can't stop the capture and then restart it. Why? Why does she lock up so quickly? Hello? There we go. I don't know why she's being such a pain, but PRPR is fantastic. I mean, the background music was a pleasant bop. It is! It's made by Tayashi Yuto. I think I have that name right. And they were lovely enough, and I commissioned them for my background music. And let me pull up their link, because they're very, very nice. And if you ever want background music, you should definitely commission them. I basically told them, I was like, I want something like Aikatsu, and I gave them 18 references, and he pulled together like something better than I could have ever imagined. Let me grab him real quick and then see if I might have to exit out of I might have to exit out of Star Wars and then go back in Tayoshi. But if you want some sick background music, definitely go check him out. I was thinking about maybe streaming at some point. Yeah. No, it's super fun. I'm pushing for affiliate really hard right now. Just because like that's a really big milestone, and I want to be able to make it, and to everyone hopping in to help me is really nice. Let me see if I can't. Let me exit because I'm not that far into the level anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just want to not be playing two-player anymore. I need someone with me because I'm boring as fuck without someone to bounce off of. Yeah, I thought about how I need to start collabing soon. Why won't it let me out? But collabs are super fun to be in, but there's definitely like some value in what happened. What is happening? Are you guys seeing this? What is wrong with my game? This thing's going bonkers. I'm gonna exit out momentarily. I blinked. What happened? It's just going wild. Like, hold on. I'll be on just chatting for now so I don't accidentally expose anything. But it's just like it was going kookaburra. I apologize for my lack of knowledge when it comes to these things. I'll transition back and hopefully everything will be alright. You might see a black screen for a little while. Don't mind that. Well, yeah, I just don't know how I would have gotten out of multiplayer. I don't know quite how to fix that issue because, again, Lego Star Wars is such an old game. But yeah. I don't know what you mean, unfortunately. Oh. There we go. Now I can play a Shmoby one. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's easy to get into two-player mode, but I don't know how I would have gotten out of it. Ah. We're really just dinking around. This is where we would go up to save. This is my... Is this one of mine? I don't remember. But it doesn't matter, I don't think. Because we don't need him exactly right now. That happens a lot when I type the word. No, you're absolutely fine. I was just curious. I got confused. But now that we're back on track, we can go through this. Before this, we were actually doing another stream, just like on Discord, of Psycho. I don't know the full name, but it was a lot. I might have to buy it to play it for you guys. I don't know how well I do, but we're going back to chapter 1 and hopefully I will do a bit better. Let me in, let me in, let me in. What the heck? Let me in. Okay. In the future, if that happens though, in this context, please assume I mean through. Okay. We already went through this. So, fine. I'm still not used to cursing on here. Star Wars is one of those... Star Wars is one of those things. It's a very interesting franchise. I know a lot of people dislike the prequels, and like there's plenty of room where I think that it's an issue, but also, to be fair, I think that you could say the same thing about most of Star Wars, for as much as I love it. I think with a lot of people, they say that the prequels are like boring because there's like a lot of politics in it, and like absolutely all the stuff with the Trade Federation I could not tell you a single thing about. I don't want to be Qui-Gon if I can be Obi-Wan. But like I feel like a lot of people, it gets really boring when they start talking about like the politics and the Trade Federation and anything to do with that sort of stuff, and I don't like disagree with you guys. But there's definitely some stuff that I'm like uber interested in. I think Padme, ooh, I'm not ready to go through there. Yeah, absolutely. It just really depends on what like takes your interest. For me, I really like the Not the Trade Federation stuff. I think that was so super boring. But like Padme is one of my favorite characters. I think there's a lot to be said about. I know that it's kind of jokey. I know that it's kind of a joke to talk about Hayden Christensen's performance as Anakin Skywalker, but I unironically think Anakin Skywalker is like ridiculously cute, and I really love Anakin. Like I love an emo boy. I believe me, I know you told me in detail when you made me sat through Marathon. Yeah, because they're good, and I think they should be appreciated. Like, I understand why people dislike the prequels, but I also cordially disagree with you on it. I think they're fantastic films, if not, like, not perfectly made, but high in entertainment value. So for a lot, yeah, and that's why Phantom Menace like doesn't really do it for me, because it doesn't have Hayden Christensen in it. I think people hammer on about Anakin a bit too much. Yeah, like, because there's definitely cringy moments. Like everyone talks about, like, I hate sand. It's coarse and unrefined, and it gets everywhere. But like, Hayden Christensen, what is with the camera, please? But Hayden Christensen didn't do that. He just said it. Well, Hayden Christensen was responsible for the way he said it, but that's also, like, we don't harp on enough about how in the first film, Anakin is like 8 years old and Padme is old enough to be a political figure, and none of us, including me, like, stop to question that. Welcome to mid-2000s gaming. Yeah, apparently. Who is here? Stop. I'm trying to collect coins, brother. I love my daddy. My superhero. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. Let me kill my buddy Qui-Gon. Something, I was defending the prequels. I'm sure of that. I love my daddy. My superhero. Walk up to friendly characters. Thanks. Thanks. Give me coins. I am hitting my buddy, my dear buddy Qui-Gon, but to be fair, he's getting in my damn way. Defending the prequels. It to some capacity, I'm sure. Padme Amidala is like one of my favorite characters in the whole thing. Anakin Skywalker is one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise. I don't know if I'm exposing myself by saying this, but the prequels aren't that bad. Like, I know that they get harped on because they weren't the originals, and like they'll never be the originals. And like, I get it, because the originals are so, like, they were so genre defining. Sorry, I have very split attention. Hello, sir. But while the prequels are so, or no, while the original is so genre defining, I think people let that rule how they decided they wanted to judge the prequel movies, and like, they're just inherently different. Like, they were made at different times. We can talk about different, priorities all day long, especially like the reliance on CG is not the greatest thing in the world, because like for the original Star Wars, it was a huge thing that they were able to do everything that they did practically, and a lot of people dislike the remasters of the originals for that reason. I like them, if only because the ghost at the end is Hayden Christensen. I think that's nice. I know they added a couple things, like that one lip woman on Boba in Jabba the Hutt's palace got added in. They added a whole song sequence that was like unnecessary. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh. Can I get my buddy Qui-Gon to please move his ass? Move! That was my keyboard being whack. What happened? I didn't see your keyboard being too whack. Qui-Gon, move. Now let me switch. Please. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do then. Let me see. Let me give this one more go before I just give up on it. No, I have no idea. So let's move. Gonna possess you. We might need you. We're gonna take you along for the ride. Oh, but what I was saying my love letter for the prequels. Please, no one hit me. I'm just a droid. But for as much as the originals like made something new like entirely, and like it definitely like has room for respect to that, I don't think that the prequels necessarily had to live up to as much of a please go. I don't think that the prequels necessarily had to have lived up to as much of a high standard as people wanted them to. I don't know what to do about that. Just because like I think comparing them too much, it definitely has its time and place. I was trying to type, but whenever I tried to type anything out, it kept opening menus for no reason. That's crazy. But there's definitely a time and place to compare the prequels and the originals, and to compare the originals and the sequels. And oh my god, we will talk about the sequels. But I think to say that the prequels are different from the original and therefore that's bad is like not giving them a fair shake. And yes, like they don't have as much action scenes, but they don't lack in action. They got overhyped by the fans, and when they didn't live up to their expectations, they kind of just went, grr, I don't like it. I think there's definitely plenty of room for fair criticism, especially like in all of Star Wars, because especially now, like there's plenty of stuff that doesn't hold up to modern scrutiny. But absolutely, like I think it doesn't get as much of a fair shake as people give like the original trilogy, just because there's like it's become a meme by now that like the prequel trilogy is bad, and I went into it thinking that it was going to be bad, and it's definitely not good, but it's in that charming cheesy way that Star Wars has always been. It's like how people like the Christmas special. Like the Christmas special isn't good, but people remember it fondly because of how entertaining it was. Also, Ewan McGregor got to play Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that like is on a stand of its own for its value. Obi-Wan Kenobi is like his own pro to the prequels. It's not perfect, but what is exactly like. I definitely, if you wanted to ask me what I think, which trilogy I think is the best, I would absolutely tell you that it is the original trilogy. But if you want to ask me which one is my favorite, I would tell you it's the prequels, because it has characters that I'm super attached to, and like a storyline that is like so dumb and soap opera-y that I'm just in love with it. And I also personally love like political dramas, like that soap opera line of like we have to oh my god, Padme has that one line of this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. Like how can you not think that's cool? Like that's a cool line that came out of the prequels, man. Come on. I still think that the Jedi were complete dumbasses in the prequels. Well, yeah, there's a whole, like... The Jedi Council is an interesting bunch of people. Especially if you can look at a traumatized 8-year-old child and be like, no, actually, you shouldn't mourn the loss of your mother. Like, yeah, what are you doing? Hi! Hi, bucket stuff. Thank you so much for following. That helps on the affiliate push, which is something that I'm really working towards a whole lot, is making sure we can push for affiliate. Prequels had some absolute apex lines. Yeah, absolutely. I think the prequels have like such cool lines. Like for every, well, no, I wouldn't go this far actually, but it has some cringy lines like I hate sand is coarse and unrefined and it gets everywhere. But it also has, hi buddy, press H to dodge or reflect faster bolts. Thanks. But it also has, this is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause. It has I have the high ground, which is both good and bad, and I would say that it's amazing. Yeah, like, it just telling a child not to mourn the loss of a parent is a special thing to say. We love the Jedi, they're so special. Good luck, hope you get in. Yeah, but even the cringy lines are fun to talk about. Exactly. Like, we're cringing at them, but everyone remembers them. So, like, they have their icon stats. Oh my god, I forgot about Jar Jar. That's a rough sell. How do I get to you, sir? One of the roughest parts of the prequels is the existence of that fool. And he has his entertaining moments. Somehow he became a chancellor, like a governor. The Darth Maul and Phantom Menace fight is legit one of my favorite. Yes! Oh my god, Darth Maul is such a cool character, and I'm interested to see if we'll ever see more of him in like the extended universe. Like, I know that there's been teasing. I think there was a little like mention of him. I broke my droid! I broke my droid! Oh no! I was gonna say, it looks like there was a mention of him. I don't know if you ever watched the movie Solo, which was a film that exists. If you guys like Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen is in that movie. But, oh, how do I do about you, sir? But there was like a hint of Darth Maul in Solo, of all places, which is always neat. When you and I were watching the movies, and the only line I knew about the moment Anakin jumped out of the fucking hover car and Obi-Wan said, "I hate when he does that." Yeah, oh my god, that whole scene through Coruscant is like one of my favorite exchanges, just because, like, oh my god. And there's there's that blooper of, I watched Solo, but I was hungover at a friend's house, so I missed most of it. You weren't missing much, I have to be completely honest with you. I really love Han Solo. He's one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise. The movie was interesting, and to say, like, they gave him an origin on his name Solo, and it's just like, this is a little, I don't know that we needed this much explanation, which I feel like is something that Star Wars is having an issue with, where they're over explaining things. It's like, no, we didn't need that, actually. It was just cool the way it was. But then again, I guess people might say that about Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. I'm sure there's some people who are just like, no, I like Darth Vader as the cool guy, not the whiny little man. But I like the whiny little man, what can I say? How do I fight? Okay. We're gonna deflect. But no, with Han Solo, they gave him a background. Ooh. And it was like, there was a scene in the movie Solo, and I don't remember it that well because I didn't bother to watch it more than once, but there was a scene in the movie Solo where a guy is like on an intergalactic airport, and Han Solo asks to get a ticket, and he asks for his name, and he goes Han, and he says last name, and he goes, I don't have one, and the guy looks at him and says, you're flying Solo, and just calls him Han Solo, and that's the rest of his name forever and ever, amen. Why would that be? Why would that be where that came from? Like, something so important as to his monikers by an absolute stranger. Oh my god, we love AI. Stop, please. You're no longer on team. He becomes, oh my god. If Disney didn't want to sweep Solo under the rug in the sequel, they could have had him come back in the sequel trilogy. In The Force Awakens, they could have had him come back to the rebellion, and it would be like, you're no longer Han Solo, you are now Han Teamwork. Let's also talk about, do you guys ascribe to, I know that, like, do they call him Ben Solo? Because I never understood why a person with, like, a bounty list as high and as far as Han Solo's, why he would no longer be like, no, we're Organas now, I'm not a Solo. Ooh, please, come back, buddy. But it doesn't, like, for Han Solo's, like, trifling and pilfering ways, you would think that he would take advantage of a big name like Organa. He'd be like, no, 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 no. I'm not Solo anymore. I'm Organa. So now that, but I guess they were just like, he's the man, so he needs to, so Ben Solo has to have the boy name. But I think I ascribe more to Han and Ben Organa. And then Kylo Ren was Kylo Ren, man. You're no longer on teamwork. Is that the end of the first level? Okay. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff I missed out on, but you know. Han's actor was so sick of it. He was just like, yeah, please kill my character so I can stop hearing about it. Yeah. No, and like Harrison Ford is such a trooper. Han taking his wife's name would be mad cute. I think so too. I think it makes sense for him. Like, I could not tell you where it came from, but I remember this old headcanon on Tumblr when The Last Jedi had just come out, where someone was talking about how, like, Han going up to a restaurant being like, reservation for Han and Chewie Organa. And I just think that that's really adorable, and it makes sense for him. Like, as prideful as he may be, I don't think that he would look a gift horse in the mouth. Oh my god, I hate the flashing lights. No, I don't want that. Game 2, yes please. But then that gets into sequel territory, and oh, the sequels. There was a lot of potential with the sequels, for sure. Like, there was a lot of places that they were trying to go, but I think they were trying to go too many places. So in the end result that we had was a little bit messy. Especially, like, you have certain elements, like I used to really like Kylo Ren, and like I still like I like the idea of his character. I don't like the execution that they set out, and like the whole spoilers for Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and spoilers for The Rise of Skywalker. But oh my goodness, when you get to stuff like, especially in The Rise of Sky, it was like The Force Awakens was good, it was entertaining, and it had stuff going for it, and I died. Get out of my way, get out of my way. I love my daddy, my superhero. The Force Awakens had a lot of potential. We saw that shit in theaters, even though it was bad. I still cried for some reason. I cried at The Last Jedi. I cried like several times over Kylo Ren, which I will never get those tears back. But like The Force Awakens had a lot of potential. It was like everyone was excited. It was a new Star Wars story we were telling. And then The Last Jedi was Rian Johnson, who... So in the first movie, Kylo Ren has this whole issue. When I was young, my mom bought me like 30 Star Wars novels from a thrift shop, so I am much more attached to the novel sequel universe than the actual one. I've never read the novels. I'm not that... I don't read a lot of newer books, as bad as that is to say, because I have like such a long list of classic literature that I've been getting through that I feel like I miss a lot of the new fun stuff when maybe I... Please work. Why did that kill? That's not I had like 20,000 coins and now I have 3,000. But I don't read a lot of new literature as maybe I should. And cutscene. The backlog problem is real. Exactly. So like right now I'm in the middle of reading. I have this amazing collection of... It's a trilogy, or like it's 3 novels in one book of Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde, and Frankenstein. And I think that that's so cool to have in one book, and as a forward by Stephen King. So I'm working through that right now. But going back to why I think, like, part of the reason why I think the sequel trilogies are so messy is because the people writing them wanted 2 completely different things. And don't mind the way that I just said 2. So J.J. Abrams in the first one set up that Kylo Ren's character is all about living up to the legacy set forth by Darth Vader. Like, he wanted to be the next Darth Vader, and Rey hits him in the sore spot by saying that he'll never be Darth Vader. I don't know how I'm supposed to get up here. So that gives you motifs of like legacy and tradition and like following in someone's footsteps, and maybe following in the wrong footsteps if you are in the perspective of anyone on the light side. Well, yeah, but I'm wondering how I can get to this thing, unless you're saying that there might be like a turnaround. So in the first film, in The Force Awakens, we set up these motifs of legacy, which is really important because Rey, to our knowledge, has none. But then Rian Johnson gets the film, and his pleas, and the narrative that he wants to spill is not at all related to legacy. He wants to make a story that is completely separated from the original trilogy and from the prequel trilogy. Oh, sorry, I saw Jar Jar Binks and I went feral. But so Rian Johnson wants to build a legacy of he wants to make a film that goes against the ideas of legacy, which, by the way, I don't know how well that works for Star Wars, because Star Wars as a franchise has always kind of been about family. Like, at its core is a movie about family and lineage and how love and family can beat out even over the darkest forces. So, you know, that's fun. That didn't matter to Rian Johnson. He wanted to write a completely new story, which, yeah, it has its merits, but it doesn't. It's not, it's too dissonant to what story we had previously. So where Kylo Ren in the first film wants to be Darth Vader, Kylo Ren in the second film, oh no. I'm too busy trying to do my dissertation on Star Wars. Stop! Kylo Ren in the second film is saying kill the past, or let the past die, kill it if you have to. Which, where does that fall in line with his ideas of being Darth Vader? That doesn't at all. That's not how anything works. But Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams had such starkly different ideas of what they wanted, and they weren't willing to compromise on anything, that we got to deal with all of the consequences. Please come up, I can't fight them on my own. Please! Ah! Can you jump high enough? Okay. What was I saying? J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson don't talk because they hate each other. They're frenemies. They worked on the same thing, but they had different ideas. So Kylo Ren 1, he wants to be a Darth Vader. Kylo Ren 2, he says, let the past die, kill it if you have to. Those are two inherently different goals to have. And in the first one, we build an idea of legacy through being Darth Vader, and Kylo Ren in the sequel is telling Rey to forge her own path, which might have been an interesting thing to say, like that Rey didn't have to have an important lineage to be an important person. That stopped to matter by the third one, because now she does have an important lineage. Yet someone say they made the new Star Wars trilogy and didn't have a solid plot point. Absolutely not. And like, that's the biggest thing going against it, is that they didn't know what they wanted. Like, each story is telling different pieces. J.J. Abrams had the first one and was telling his story. Rian Johnson had the second one, but then J.J. Abrams took back the third one and wasn't going to go off of what Rian Johnson made. He was going to make it off of what he wanted, which doesn't work because they already made a Rian Johnson film. Stop telling me to use Jar Jar, I refuse. So like in the sequel, in The Last Jedi, they're making a big deal out of the fact that Rey doesn't maybe necessarily need to be from an important lineage to be an important person, and like we get that like weird kind of friendship with Kylo Ren about that relationship. And how she's worried that, like, if she is from an important family, maybe that means she's destined to fall to the dark side just like Kylo Ren did. But then none of that matters anymore, because they're no longer telling you the story of a girl who came from nothing and did something amazing. They're telling you the story of a girl who's the granddaughter of Palpatine, and Palpatine fucks, by the way. Palpatine canon has sex, because why not? We decided to do that. That's the worst thing that the sequel trilogies gave me is that Palpatine fucks, and I have to think about it. So yeah, the sequel trilogies have a lot going for it, and there's also like plenty of characters I like. I stinking love Poe Dameron. Oh my god. Palpatine's getting down more than me. He's getting more than me, and I can't let that happen. That's so upsetting. Palpatine gets snoo when no one else could. Please stop. Don't hurt me. I'm a little. I love my daddy, my superhero. Palpatine fucked when no one else would to save our sins because he was that great of a dude. But tell me where it was important for that to happen. Like, why did we need to have that? And also, I think a part of the reason, if I can share my own personal speculation, I think a part of the reason why Rey ended up being a Palpatine and not a Skywalker, which is where I personally think it should have gone, please let me live, was because they wanted to have that end romance. Like, they were building up the romances between both Rey and Finn and Rey and Kylo Ren. And I think once they made their decision to be Rey and Kylo Ren, which for better or for worse, is when they decided they were like, no, we can't actually make this incest, so let's make her a Palpatine, when clearly everything would point to her being a Skywalker if we wanted for her to be in the lineage. So it's too many cooks spoil the broth for sure. Like, there was too many ideas that no one wanted to agree on, which is a little sad. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but you know. So prequels, I think, definitely have their issues, but I think that we've come to terms with the issues that they have, and now we can have fun with them. But with the sequel trilogy, we still need to address the issues that they have. And I mean, people clearly want to. Like, there's like 8,000 video essays on Star Wars now, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not totally disinterested. I would very much like to be one. I love the idea of doing video essays. It's just a matter of having the time to put together strips, and also if I did a video essay, it would be me as my VTuber, just like, hey, let's talk about Star Wars. Padme, hi my queen. Hi my queen. We love your little lipstick moment and your dot blush. But no, I think we're in the renaissance of really tearing apart the sequel trilogies. I would love to stop saying so much, but you know how it is. So we need to, there's definitely people, I know that there's people that like think the sequels are great. I'm sure there has to be. When I was young, Phantom Menace was my favorite Star Wars, and I was too ashamed to say it for 15 years. I think you should have. I think you have the right to enjoy Phantom Menace. I know before I got into Star Wars, I was talking about it a whole lot, where I was just like, oh yeah, Phantom Menace has the pod racing, which means that it's the best movie. That was before I realized how down bad I was for Anakin Skywalker, which is like, we don't need to talk about that. But I think we've had our heyday making fun of the prequels, and now we can have a period of time where we actually like have fun with it. But for the sequel trilogy, we're really like dismantling it, and I think it's and I think there's definitely room to dismantle the sequel trilogy, because it was rough around the edges, and it had a lot of potential, and there's definitely things to like about it. Oh my goodness, I'm not mad about all the video essays tearing it apart, because I think it needs its day before we can have a renaissance of people liking it. Where do I go from here? Queen? Queen? Let me in. And it's hard because no one complains about the original trilogy, so I'm not talking about it too much. The original trilogy is great. and I'm sure that there are criticisms that you can make, but I really enjoyed myself watching the original trilogy. So I understand where people are coming from, like, dissing the prequels, because, like, when your only point of comparison was the original trilogy, and that was such a game changer in, like, all of cinema, it's hard not to kind of lift up the original Star Wars on a pedestal of, like, this is the most perfect thing ever. Slay! 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 You know that audio? It's from TikTok. I don't know what the girl's name is, or what the woman's name is. I'm sorry. But it's a woman on TikTok, and I don't know why she feels she has to, but she goes, slay! 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 And I just hope that she's having a wonderful day, and she's telling us all to slay. Oh my god, can we talk about Padme's fashion? Her fashions. No one's doing it like her. The big hat, like all the big head pieces, the massive face paint. Like, she was gorgeous when we got into more just like, we want Natalie Portman to look conventionally pretty moods, but like over the top Princess Amidala fits are so iconic. I also apologize if I'm not making any sense. My words are a little jumbled because I'm trying to figure out where to go. I have no idea. Imagine being brave enough to rock that much race. She, like, is a game changer for sure. Imagine being brave enough to engage in a relationship with Anakin Skywalker. Oh my god, I forgot I was gonna talk about how much we kind of, did some of our extra characters in the sequel trilogy so dirty. Like, Finn had a real rough time, and oh my god, Rose Tico, the poor actress who was going through that, dealt with like so many racist fans, and for what? Because her character wasn't even a hugely important character. People just hated the idea of her being in the films. And then you had Finn, who also John Boyega experienced a lot of hate, and a lot of hate from people who didn't want to see him with Rey, which is like, when it comes to Rey's relationship status, I kind of think that could have been left alone. I think she should have just been a girl boss on her own, but I didn't get to write Star Wars. If I got to write Star Wars, it would be a lot more homoerotic than it is. Oh gosh, she got so much crap for probably way less pay. Exactly! I don't know what it was about Rose and about Kelly Marie Tran in particular that just like got everyone's goose. Like, people hated her, and for what reason? What can you do for me, buddy? Can you do anything special? Am I gonna have to look up a walkthrough for this game? I swear to god. This is unacceptable. I'm on level 3. They should have made him a Jedi too. Who should have been? Oh, Finn. Yeah, for sure. Like, and that would have helped with the potential of what they were going with. He can sacrifice himself. I don't know how much I would have liked a sacrifice plot. Where am I going? Like, I don't know how much I would have liked a sacrifice plot for Finn, but I definitely, like, they were definitely teasing at him being a Jedi, and that would have helped with the idea of anyone can have great potential in them, that you don't have to be in a great family to do it. But then, like, we didn't know what story we wanted to tell. Did we want to tell anyone can be powerful, or did we want to tell a story where lineage is important? To be fair, I know, I feel bad, but I might have to pull up a you've tried breaking the painting. I can try that again. It's one of those things where I guarantee you this would be 100% easier if I had a Jedi character right now. But Kelly Marie Tran experienced a lot of hate for no reason, just by virtue of her being a new woman of color in a Star Wars film, which I guess was too much. Which is interesting because like fans didn't even want Ray and Finn together. Like a majority of people were really boasting for Raylo, which is not my favorite. But I don't think that, like, the only ship that I really like in the sequel trilogy is Finpo. I'm gonna be completely 100% honest with you. I think that was the relationship that was the strongest and had the most going for it. And oh my goodness, Ashley, can you get me a walk through my queen? Well, I just slay out here. Yes, queen, give us nothing. On it. Thank you so much. You were the love of my life. Kelly Mary Tran experienced a lot of racism for no reason. She was just a woman acting in a Star Wars film and people didn't like that. John Boyega experienced, this is chapter 3, I believe. I think I've only done 3 levels. I'm at the bees. Does it tell me what to do about the bees? Please don't hit him. John Boyega had to go through so much himself because not only was he a person of color in a Star Wars film, but also he was getting in the way of Raylos, which is like the most dangerous position you can be in. Shoot the plant. Which one? This one? What the heck? Thank you. Oh my god, I just wasted so much time. Because I didn't know to kill a plant. Excuse me for being an environmentalist. I'm an environmentalist. I didn't want to kill it. I'll just kill things indiscriminately now. The Padme Amidala corruption arc has begun. Kill. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill, kill. Please. Just in case I'm gonna send the video I was looking at. The plants must die so we can advance. I know, we'll replant some in their honor, I guess. Please. But no, let's not talk about, like, John Boyega was in a dangerous position because he had to deal with Raylo fans being upset with him, which is not a position I would ever want to be in, even though I kind of just put myself in that position by saying that it's not my favorite thing in the world. So I've put myself in danger. Why won't you go that way, queen? Let me through. And I don't have anyone with the force. So he had to deal with a lot from Raylo specifically, who didn't want Finray to become canon, which is like, if you're gonna harass an actor for your ship not happening, I hope that your day is going well. I don't understand harassing actors for doing work. Unless of course, like, there's certain things, like, obviously, oh my goodness, what was his name? It's fine, I think all the Raylo shippers have gone to bed. We're safe! Okay, do not attack people over ships. Fictional characters getting together is not worth actually hurting people. Exactly, and that's why, like, who knows what— oh, that's what I was supposed to do? Who knows how big of a role Kelly Marie Tran could have had, but after the first one had happened and people, like, hated her for it, she just, like, she kind of stopped altogether. She was like, no, I don't want to be in any more of these if it means that people are going to treat me like this. Can I shoot my way out? Or can I skip this? Is this optional? Let me leave. I don't want to. I'm not smart. I actually got angry when they kissed at the end of 9. Yeah, exactly! There was no setup for it. There was way more setup for Finray if you were going to have a ship. But Raylos are a different breed. Raylos are— oh my goodness, how many birds am I gonna kill with one stone? Raylos are the straight version of clant shippers. And I think that's about accurate. Let me out. Like, in terms of raw intensity, if we're gonna talk about clans for a second, let's talk about— this, to my knowledge, never happened because there would have been way more evidence of it, but the fact that people believed for the longest time that there was a clant shipper who baked glass into cupcakes or muffins and gave it to the voice actors to make clans canon. Like, the fact that people believed you tells you how intense they were about everything. And I think that's about the same level as Raylo shippers. Like, can't you absolutely see a Raylo shipper keeping the script for... Like, there's a secret 10th film that we don't know about, and a Raylo is keeping it hostage. Oh my god, please. I want to be a Jedi again. It's because something like that has happened. To my knowledge, the muffin thing didn't happen. I know... Oh my goodness, let's... I don't remember the artist's name, but let's talk about the artist who got a needle baked into cookies. That was an event. People were mistaken. The only people more crazy are Binha shippers. I like Binha. I don't venture too much into the shipping world because of how scary they are. Was about to mention that exactly. So if you don't know the story, there was a Undertale fan artist on Tumblr, I want to say, and their art wasn't maybe the greatest. They were a shipper of this one ship called Franz. And like they had to go to the hospital, I think. Is there a crouch button? Let me check my controls. Crouch, 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 crouch. There's not. Great. Can I get a walkthrough check of what I'm supposed to do? But like right, wrong, or indifferent, I think that it's a really intense thing to like enact physical violence on something. Shoot more plants. Like the fact that someone would go out of their way to bake needles into a cookie, or bake needles into multiple cookies, presumably, they obviously didn't try anymore, go to a convention that this artist was at, like pretend to be a fan who bakes them cookies out of the kindness of their heart, and we're pointing this way, what's happening, Queens? To do all that because of online discourse is just a different level, and I think after that happened is why we were so ready to believe that a clan shipper baked glass into muffins. Basically, don't try and murder people over internet stuff. Absolutely. And like, if you felt that strongly about it, go take like legal action. Be like, I don't know, say that they're making inappropriate contact, or like try to report them. I'm not here to like, I'm not exactly maybe the best judge of like what you should do in complicated cases like this, but like if you feel strongly that someone is making content that is inappropriate and that like you just don't jive with, I don't know that the answer is first physical violence. I think maybe just like block and report is a first one, or like make a good old-fashioned call-out post, say like, hey, this person is making porn of an 8-year-old. Like, absolutely make everyone aware of that, like put them on blast. Okay. But don't stoop, basically. I wonder if I can't Jedi double jump. Help. I can't find the exact place you are. Hey, Wasteland Wanderer, do you know what I need to do? Please. I know that I have to get up there, but I don't know how. Oh, but yeah, like, you can report, block, do all of that sort of... Oh, might have been useful. Report, block, do all that sort of stuff. But by enacting physical violence on someone, like, that person opened themselves up to a bunch of litigation on their own that they will have to deal with. And that's, like, kind of counterproductive, because now, like, you have made this person that you agree with the victim of a crime, which doesn't help your case of trying to, like, get them out for being a bad person, or, like, making bad content. But because of stuff like that happening is why it's so much more believable that a Clant shipper would send glass muffins to the voice actors. And also, to be fair, Clant shippers, there is, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in Voltron's heyday, there was someone who went on a tour of whatever production company makes Voltron, or made Voltron, I guess. And they took pictures of some like secret leaked stuff and posted it online, and it got like tons of reposts immediately because Voltron was huge at the time. And the creators of Voltron are just like, hey, this is a confidential thing. I can send the vid again. I just can't look at it right now because of how finicky everything is playing Lego Star Wars. But so there was a Clant shipper, or no, at the very least there was just a Voltron fan who went to this behind the scenes look at the making of Voltron, especially for the next season. I think it was like season 3. I don't remember exactly when Lotor came out. But that was part of the leaks, was like Lotor's design and like his whole gang of people. So someone took pictures, leaked them on Twitter, and was just like, hey, I took a tour, look at these pictures of things. And they got contacted by the creators. Exactly, yeah, you remember it because it was crazy. They got contacted by the creators of the show, and they were like, hey, this is confidential, like you can't post this, but you already have posted it, so please delete it. And there was like some 14-year-old who was really into Clans, and it was making all these big posts about blackmailing the creators, saying like, they were saying stuff like, I'll delete my post of the information that got leaked if you make Clans real. And this happened a couple times. I don't know if anyone got doxxed. I know one of the voice actors kind of stopped being in the public eye for a while because people were asking way too much about Clans. But like there was several attempts of like really young children trying to blackmail the creators of Voltron Legendary Defenders into making Clans canon. And there was like so many people being like, oh, they looked at each other in this exact frame of this in like frame 63 on minute 8 of Voltron episode 2 season 2. They looked at each other, so that means Clans is canon. And it's Clans was a wild ride, and I think that the straight equivalent for that is Raylo, because with Raylo you had all of like the famous stories of we're at about the hour mark, so I'll move on to just chatting for now, see if I can't save. But with Raylo, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but when The Last Jedi happened, there was that one fight. Who's this dude? This isn't Qui-Gon. So in The Last Jedi, there was that fight scene, which I think is like one of my favorite fight scenes in Star Wars. I think it was really cool and well done, even if like immediately after that wasn't my favorite thing in the whole wide world. How do I thought this is how I saved. I guess not. I don't know what this does for me. Okay. No, I have no idea. We'll exit out of it for now, and I'll finish up some story time. We'll go to the just chatting stream. Please stop being so loud. I don't know if it's loud for you guys, but it's loud for me. So, we're going to go to just chatting to finish up our little story time here. So, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in The Last Jedi, there's that fight scene towards the second act. It was our second act conflict. That's pretty chill volume-wise for us. Okay, awesome. That tells me that I'll need to go into my volume mixer and lower it on my end, because I felt like I was yelling that whole time because I couldn't hear myself. So I'm sorry if I was too loud. But for in The Last Jedi, there's a scene about the end of the second act where Kylo Ren goes to kill Snoke. Again, spoilers this whole stream for the prequel, sequels, and a little bit of the original trilogy, I guess. But so you have that fight scene, and the whole room is set up. It's the Knights of Ren, like, headquarters, I guess, and it's red because it's like the Sith color. And Raylos, after that movie came out, were so convinced that like the red room and like the round shape of it represented the womb, and that this fight was like secretly meant that Rey was pregnant with Kylo Ren's Force baby, and like it was an intense ride. Not to mention the Force Skype calls that was happening. But you had a lot of Reylo fans like making up these like embryonic like womb analogies for this red room that was just like a Sith room. So at the end of the day, I guess my point is that Reylos are an intense breed of people, and maybe not the people that you want to pick a fight with if you can help it. I talked a lot about Star Wars. I guess it makes kind of sense for this sort of stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you like Star Wars, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that my opinions aren't too polarizing. Of course, if they are, if you disagree with them, you can always feel free to tell me, because I'm always down to talk about Star Wars. But in the meantime, I don't know if I'll continue this game in the next stream, or if I'll try another game that's maybe a little technically more easy to work with on stream. But in any case, I hope you guys join me for the next stream. Thank you again so much to Bucket Stuff for following, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna let the goodbye chat. I did enjoy it. It was so fun dropping into a random stream of a Magical Girl ranting about Star Wars. I hope that it is enjoyable, because it's one of those things, like, it's definitely very it's very discordant to see a little anime girl on screen being like, and I think that this thing was bad about Star Wars, but I really like Star Wars, and I really like ranting about Star Wars, so I hope that you join me next time, whether it's ranting about Star Wars or playing another game. And I see you guys next time. I'll let the goodbye screen go for a little bit, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!